This is a recap for Wednesday, April 28th. What I'm going to do today is the 10 problems that we had. Well, we did 9 problems in class today, but I'll do all 10 that we were going to do. So the first problem that we saw on the quiz, and you could be looking at your notes right now. At a sale, shirts were sold for $15 each. The price was 80% of their original price. So what was the original price? So when I see percent, I'm going to make a fraction, and I have to figure out if this right here is the part or the whole. And $15 is part of the original whole price. So I put 15 right here, and then my variable right here. I'm going to do cross products, but before I do that, I'm going to simplify that to 8/10, and then simplify that to 4/5. Simplified always makes things simpler, easier. So 4 times n is equal to 5 times 75. I'm sorry, 5 times 15. Already getting the answer in there. And we do that sometimes, just kind of mind racing. 4n is equal to 75. Divide by 4. And n. If you have a calculator ready to go, then that would be a good thing. That's what I'm going to be using here. And I'm going to do 75 divided by 4, and I get $18.75. $18.75. Let's see if that makes sense. The original price was $18.75. And then if we multiplied that times 0.8, we should get 15. Okay, $18.75 was the original price. Okay, that's problem number 1. Problem number 2. What is 41% of 78? Here's one thing that you can do on these. When you see 41%, you can change it to a decimal. This is 41% as a decimal. Of means multiplied, 78. So we're just translating that. 0.41 times 78 is 31.98. So we can take this, turn it to a decimal. The word of is multiplication. 78 is equals. So that's how we can translate that. All right. Problem number 3. $73 is what percent of $125? So we have part and whole on this one is really going to help. 73 is the part. Whoops, I wanted the pen. 73 is the part. 125 is the whole. One thing you can do on this is 73 divided by 125. So if I do 73 divided by 125, what I get is, this is the decimal 58.4, so 584 thousandths, and if I can change that to a percent, that's 58.4%. So 58.4%, and on this one we just divided the part divided by the whole, gave us a decimal. We multiply by 100 to get a percent, from a decimal to a percent. For example, 0.5 times 100 is 50%. All right, problem number, it's a little confusing. Oh, you know what? I may have missed one, so sorry if this went a little out of order. The numbering, I'm going to miss one of the problems, I believe, so I'll try to figure out what that is. I think I missed problem number 3. So if you wanted to see that and you're looking in this video for that, sorry about that. Here's problem number 5. I think it was a screenshot. I'll have to see if I still have that one. Okay, problem number 5. What is 90% of 130 inches? So we're going to, again, translate this into a decimal. 90% is the decimal 0.9. Of is multiplication times 130. So on my calculator, I do 0.9 times 130, and I get 117. So 117 inches on that one. Okay, let's look at the next one. This is, now we're on to the second quiz and the first problem. So the second quiz and the first problem was 16 inches is 35% of what? One of the more challenging ones. I'm going to set up a proportion and show the steps. 35% looks like this. 16 inches is. 16 inches is part of a whole amount. So we kind of have to, if we're just reading left to right, it gets real difficult. We have to put it in different places. This part goes there. This part goes right here. This part goes right here. So 16 is part of what that is 35%. And so we'll just do cross products on this one. 35n is equal to 16 times 100. 35n is equal to 1600. And divide by 35. 1600 divided by 35 is 45.714287, and I think this was to the nearest decimal, or nearest tenth, so 45.7. All right, problem number, and again, something happened. I'll have to go pick up problem number 2. So we have problem set 1, problem 3, set 2, problem 2. Not sure what happened to it, but we'll find it. All right, so $450. A family spends $450 every month on food. If the family's income is $1,800, what percent? So that what percent of income is spent on food? What percent? So I put the variable over 100. What percent is how that translates. 450 is the part. 1,800 is the whole amount. This can be simplified. 50 can go into each one of these. 450 divided by 450 divided by 50 equals 9. 1,800 divided by 50 equals 36. So it's actually just 1/4. So just thinking about this, what's 1/4 of 100? 25. So this is 25%. Problem number 4. Second step, fourth problem. A farmer owns 28 acres of land. Of the 28 acres, only 65% can be farmed. How many acres are available? So the 28 is the entire amount. This is all the land that he owns, all of it. So that's all. Of that all entire 28 acres, 65 out of 100, if it was 100, it'd be 65 acres. What if it was only 28? So we need 65%. 100n equals 28 times 65. 28 times 65 is 1820. So that's 1820. We're going to divide it by 100. Dividing by 100 just moves the decimal point over 2 places. So n is equal to 18.2. So 18.2 acres can be farmed. And that seems like 65%, over half, but quite a bit over half. 18.2. All right, and then one more, and then we're going to go back and find those other 2 problems. All right. And we didn't do this one in class, but if you want to pause and try this one right now, actually we did in one of the classes. If you want to try this one right now and then hit play to check it, it's a good one. If a shipment of airplane parts, in a shipment of airplane parts, 3% are known to be defective. So we know it's going to be a 3 out of 100. If 15 parts are found, that should have been found to be, there's a little typo there I didn't notice, to be defective, how many parts are in the shipment? So what's interesting about this is 3% and 15 is the 3%. They're in the same place. So they're 3%, 15 out of, we don't know. So when we don't know, we put a variable. So 3 times, actually on this one, let's do a multiplier. So let's multiply 3 times 5 to get 15. So we're going to multiply 100 times 5 to get the answer that was 500. 500 parts. Okay, so we have problem number 2 in the second set and 3 in the first set. So I'm going to go and try to find those. 3 and so 1, 3, and 2, 2. 1, 3, and 2, 2. We'll go to Plickers. And we'll go to 1, 3, edit these cards. And okay, so 73 is what percent of 25? It's the one that we missed here. All right. 73 is what percent? I feel like we did this one. Let's check. We did. Well, I'm going to do it again just in case we didn't. 73 over 125. And 73 divided by 125, 58.4. Yeah, we did this one. Okay. So the numbering was just off a little bit. And if I was to replay this video, I think that the one that we didn't do was 90% of 130 inches, this one. Okay, so 0.9, let's just write this 90% as, let's just translate that to 0.9. Of is multiplication 130. So on your calculator, if you do 0.9 times 130, it's equal to 117. So that was 117. And one more problem. Let's go back here, go to this part 2, edit, and let's see which one we haven't done yet. 16 inches is 35% of what we did that one. I don't think we did this one. Okay, so a basketball player made 63 out of 75. You can almost write it down as you read it. 63 out of 75. And so if we just do 63 divided by 75, then that's equal to 0.84. We multiply that by 100 to get to a percent. That's how we get a decimal to a percent. You just multiply by 100 and you get 84. So 84%. So that is a recap of Wednesday, April 28th.